I mean, you look at the likes of Tottenham while they were getting this stadium built, they were at Wembley. They weren't great for the first half of the season. And like you say, West Ham took a season.
It takes time.
Maybe more.
We haven't set
More?
This is what I'm like.
One of the things that's very different about American sports than here in the UK is the fact that teams move location, right? And it's happened to me this off-season. My team, the Raiders, have moved from Oakland, where they were for years, to Las Vegas, which has got a bit of a ring to it, the Las Vegas Raiders, yeah. And of course, you've got two teams that have recently moved to LA from different places. So I guess it's a big talking point this year. And so it'd be nice to sort of get into what do you think the pros and the cons of moving are?
Well, talking from a football perspective, West Ham, we moved ground. It's the worst thing that we ever could have done. But I know it's different. It's different with the NFL, and I know when you move grounds in the NFL, usually you just wave bye to your fans, which for me is incredible. But and has Vegas even got enough people there to build a fan base, like a proper fan base? I don't know. How's it like?
Well, I think
it's
that,
scary for me.
I think
man.
I think the Raiders' case is quite unique to say to other teams, because I do think initially I was quite sceptical about the whole thing, but I have bought into this notion that they're quite it's like an international team, it's a global team, the Raiders, because they've got a lot of famous rappers that are fans, and the brand's quite popular. You see people walking around, even in my village in southwest Wales, in Glenamon, when I was growing up, there were people in Raiders hats, right? Believe it or not. So it's all over the world. So it's not necessarily tied to its location.
It's difficult because you've got on-field and off-field. Yes. Off-field, the majority of the positives lie there in terms of money, new fan base, the brand, things like that.
Excitement.
Yeah, exactly. It's more on paper. It's to do with commercial side of things. And then you've got the on-field when you've got the players. Now, to uproot your family, your lifestyle, but then to do that to the whole team, the backroom staff, everything. For me, although it's the same people, it's the same probably protocols and way of life, it's completely different. I just think from an athlete's point of view, yeah, it's bright lights of Vegas, it's fantastic, brand new shower room, stadium, surround sound, big screens. But I just think there's so much more to performance than just turning up and playing on the field.
But doesn't it give them a boost, doesn't it? Oh my goodness, now I don't have to play on a baseball pitch anymore. I've been to the old Oakland Coliseum, and it was an amazingly atmospheric place. It'd be grim to play there. You know, the changing rooms are the size of this table.
I agree,
but
then they went to the likes of like they were like all these amazing stadiums and supreme, like just pristine pitches, which are beautiful. I mean, you look at the likes of Tottenham while they were getting this stadium built, they were at Wembley. They weren't great for the first half of the season. And like you say, West Ham took a season.
It takes time.
Maybe more.
We haven't set this is what I'm like.
This has been designed for them. This has been custom made.
Yes, crucial.
It's mean. It's kept that black hole spirit from the Coliseum, I think.
I think we might have all sampled it anyway when they came over to England last year, and the atmosphere that they bore, even walking down the road outside it, we felt, you didn't know if you were at Comic-Con or an NFL game.
That was me dressed up.
It was nice to see you as well that day. But I think there's no worry around the atmosphere because, like you said, the brand's so synonymous that they can bring that to pretty much any location. And the fact they've got this purpose-built arena, which is just going to add to the atmosphere.
I think with the fans, I think you'll get some element of the black hole atmosphere in terms of the face paint, you know, the raw. But if I look at it from a Chiefs point of view and an away fan who's going to go there and play, I mean, I looked at that fixture and was like, I can't wait to go to Vegas to watch that game. Because Las Vegas, I mean, first of all, you've got the match, but then Las Vegas. Yeah. I mean, everyone loves Las Vegas pretty much. And if you've got an excuse to go there and watch football, I think you're going to get a large percentage of away fans.
There's drawbacks. Of course there are, and it's going to be a big chunk. You know, it's a more appealing proposition going to Vegas to watch your team play against the Raiders than it was going to the Oakland Coliseum, which was falling down by the end.
It's part of its charm.
But it was
like you say, Vegas. Are there too many distractions in Vegas? What about that implication on some of the youngsters coming through? They're rookies, or they've just signed a brand new contract and they've got spare time. There's Las Vegas with some stunning views, shows, entertainment.
Yeah, you've seen Adele once, you've seen it 1,000 times. Have you seen John Gruden? I wouldn't cross John Gruden. I'd do anything that John Gruden told me to do because that is a scary man. And if he's your head coach, you're doing exactly what he's telling you to do.
But what if a franchise came to London? Do you think London is ready for that? I mean, we've got this beautiful multi-purpose stadium.
I think the league's got to do it. It has to move because if you look at its competitors, right? Look at the NBA, such an international league now. With even though our teams are all based in America, there's so many more international players so it's got a footprint that means it can spread and compete with football or soccer globally. Can't really legitimately claim to be international in the proper sense of the word. And this is a perfect it makes sense to do it here.
I think people buy into like the Americano of it though, especially when I first got into it. It's like this American product and it's bells and whistles and everything like that. And if it was like the English team version
Yeah, but you can have it on your doorstep.
I don't want Kirk from Coronation Street being an ambassador. Do you know what I mean?
You can nip down from Coventry and then next thing you know,
But Europe
bang,
as well.
America.
Like how many people from Norway, Sweden and Germany. It's huge there. I mean, if you look how big Europe is compared to America, you're going to get people coming
all over.
every other
And I think
weekend,
that will happen, but I just like it to be like a Raiders, and if the cash is right, it probably will be.
Every time a team has had an international Atlantic flight, they've always had a bye week afterwards.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you'd work out the logistics if the London Bulldogs or Beefeaters played away, especially to like a West Coast team, how they would manage their time and the schedule. That's the only kind of con.
But I guess it's going to be tricky now, it's going to be tricky in 10 years, it's going to be tricky in 20 years. So it's going to have to
So let's just do it.
Just get on, crack on.
Get on with it.
Well, that's what we think about the pros and the cons of moving your team. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. Have a look at the Death Star as well, it looks well cool. And make sure you subscribe to the channel.